Hey everyone, this is James. It's March 18th, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is my 4-hour chart of Bitcoin. This is BTC USDT. First of all, this is not investment advice. Second of all, I'd like to go over the overall trend, which you can see is negative. We've used that negative trend to bounce off. However, we've reassumed that negative trend. So basically, in a nutshell, from an outside perspective, what is occurring here is a series of lower highs and lower lows to yet be determined on what price does here. Now, in my prior video, I talked about a run to possibly 8,800. Okay, we can see that we've moved through time and space. We've moved a little lower. The possibility for a run to 8,800 is still there as long as we can maintain this to the upside. The 8,800 level is right here, which still gives us that false breakout and that hopium that I think that will drive a Guppy rally to obviously create another lower low in this short time frame. Basically, we've had a nice wide range bar here. It doesn't look like it's done on much volume, and also there's not much of a consolidation here. So like I've said in my previous videos, we were kind of trying to build a house on a single post when we had that one bar reversal. Now here we are on just basically a single bar reversal again. So I am not imagining much is going to come out of this, although there may be a run to 8,800, which is a pretty good move. Okay, I've also talked about that the weekends, they typically reverse the action. So if we fall into the weekend, the reversal is obviously to pull it back up. If we rise in the weekend, the reversal is obviously, the opposite, to fall. So we'll see how it pans out. We'll see what happens. But like I said, when I zoom out here, let me go back to square one real quick. And because I'm sure it's hard to see my gray line set. This is the older. But when you look at it, let me make it blue so it sticks out a little bit differently. But you can see it's literally matches the red line set. Now you would think that when we break out of a negative downline set, that we would have some nice positive momentum, not a return to the negative frequency, and not only a return to the negative frequency, right, which is fine to build up energy and to boost off of that, kind of like a springboard, but completely assume that same exact negative frequency. But also, one thing too that I haven't even really noticed till I was looking at this, you can see if I draw this line like right here, you can see that the red line is actually at a more negative slope. It's increasing in a negative slope than it is as the blue line set. So it's just marginal. It's probably really hard to see on your screen, but there's clearly a difference in the two. And what I can, hang on real quick, I can probably just show you. Let me take the blue line set and I'll make it this pink line. And that way when we put it together, we can see, you see how the red line and the pink line are opening right there? That shows that it's increasing to the negative side, okay? It's not decreasing, which obviously would be positive. So that's just a quick little thing that I saw as I did my last video, but for some reason the volume did not come out well. So anyways, let me turn this gray so it doesn't bother everybody here. But what we've had in this area, okay, the blue line, if you're wondering, the blue line is the prior uptrend where I thought price was going to bounce potentially to the 8,800 level and then roll over from there. But instead what we had was a fall overnight. And I had a trade in for it. I immediately got stopped out, and I tried to trade it. I think it was like one more time is what I put in, and then that was it. I was done for the night. But that's what I say. Like, you got to have your stop losses in place. This video is not investment advice for you all. This is I'm not helping. I'm not managing a trade for you. I'm not helping you manage a trade. So it would just be crazy just to see somebody's YouTube video and just go like all in and go nuts, without having your own strategy in place, without having your own understanding of investment. So anyways, I don't want to get off on that tangent, but anyways, what we have here is we have a support line, okay, that turned into resistance last night. We have another support level, okay. I've talked about these support levels where previous buyers could be. We've obviously tiered down, and then we tiered down to this one, and then we tiered down to this last final one where I'm coloring in real dark, right between these two areas. However, the fact that this is just an extremely vertical change in price, I do not believe this is going to hold up unless we start to get some nice consolidation. I do think, though, the highest potential of this run is about 8,800. If we do reach 8,800, then I am expecting that to confirm a Guppy rally and for price to head lower than this area right here. And this is the reason why we have a nice fall. You can kind of see this little double bottom to a false breakout, and then obviously to a downslide. This is kind of a similar thing right here. Oh, hang on real quick. Got a little crazy with my marker. But right here, and then the false breakout would be 8,800, and obviously a fall to the downside. Now, if that does happen, right, and we do not break out, I'll give you the breakout numbers right now. 8,800 is about the first one on Binance. After that, you're talking about maybe 9,100, 9,200. Depends on how fast we move through time and space. Obviously, those numbers can change quite radically depending on how price moves. But I can tell you that if we do break down, okay, we cannot maintain this positive upslope at a roughly consistently trading over the 7,800 level overnight into tomorrow, into the week, then we are going to head lower. And if we head lower, we could easily see the 6,000 range unless we get a nice bounce off of about the low 7,000 range. And if we do bust through, if we do head down to the 6,000 range, like I've said in my prior videos, it's not going to be a good sign. My logical reasoning behind that is that obviously we can see on the bigger perspective that we are making a series of lower highs, okay? And that is not a positive sign. We are also making a series of lower lows. So the question is, do we put in a lower low? If we do, it'll be absolutely brutal for the market. Yes, we may have some popped, but for a market to die at this pace, this fast, I mean, well, obviously that is really redundant there, but you know, obviously to die at this magnitude, at this pace, this fast, then it's a negative sign. I mean, you can see how quickly the market has lost a lot of its volatility. The volume's drying up. We're setting lower highs. We're setting lower lows. There's not really much to be excited about here until we start to create some higher highs and higher lows. I would never invest in the long term based on this price action here. Short term trading, sure, like, you know, for my own personal self, like I said, it's not investment advice, but the overall picture of this market is not positive, okay? What we see back in here, the reason why I don't even focus on that is the beginning of a bubble phase. So it does not mean that Bitcoin's going to have the nail in the coffin and completely die. We could still continue to rise, especially if we can hold this low right here or any low above the 6,000 range to create some nice long-term structure for price to build off of, like the stock market, fiat market, etc. But that's pretty much it for the night. I'll talk to everybody tomorrow. If you do enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, follow. We'll see what happens tonight. You know, like I said, I did anticipate that run to the 8,800. We'll see what happens. But I don't have much confidence in this run due to how weak this bottom is right here. If we do create a higher low and then continue to move up, that'll obviously change my mind. So we'll see how tonight pans out. Like I said, in 1 hour, this place is about to get crazy. So we'll see.